Hi everyone, this is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors. Boot camp is coming up in Raleigh in May. Contact Charlotte, a link to her email is below, and she'll get you the information you need about boot camp. This week I want to do some reader mail. So I really appreciate it. We love making these vlogs for you, and we love when we get responses for you via email. So be sure to let me know what you're thinking, good or bad. It's okay, we can take it. The first reader mail is from Chris Weaver at Lance Construction. Chris, thank you. And he's reacting to the vlog about exciting economic optimism among small businesses. He said he wished that we had waited a little bit for maybe another survey, because a lot of businesses are concerned about tariffs. We know our members north of the border in Canada are quite concerned about all of this rhetoric that's going on, and they should be. But that's created a little bit more uncertainty than what existed in this December survey from the National Federation of Independent Business. Chris says there could be some serious downstream impacts that we've felt for quite a while, and he's right. He's right. So we don't know exactly how all this talk of tariffs, we don't know if they're going to execute, we don't know if it's just talk, we really don't know what's going to happen. So there's a bit of uncertainty now that maybe didn't exist in December when we recorded that vlog. Chris Manning writes, Chris from Ovra out on the West Coast writes about micromanagement. Love the vlog today, but he sent me a wonderful article. He gave me some background on that. He sent me a wonderful article that I want to share with you guys, because I think, whereas I was very certain in that article, that vlog, that micromanagement was a horrible commission of almost a crime, then he sent me an article from Patrick Lencioni that says, quote, micromanagement is underrated. People who accuse their bosses of micromanaging seem to do so as a permanent insult rather than a mere suggestion for change. It was the organizational equivalent of being labeled a Neanderthal. It was insecure and distrustful, and to make matters worse, being called a micromanager was indefensible. So what Lencioni supposes is that the pendulum swung all the way to the other side. So you've got micromanagement on one side, and you've got what he calls abdication management. Abdication management on the other side. Now, ideally, that pendulum is somewhere in the middle, right? But he calls it abdication. So today, for every real micromanager I come across, especially at the top of organizations, there are dozens of abdication managers. The results of abdication management are consistent: a lack of necessary guidance, delays in recognizing problems, stunted professional development from key people, and anxiety among employees, all because we fear being called micromanagers. Quoting Lencioni, when I've confronted CEOs and senior executives about their tendency to undermanage their direct reports, they say, listen, I hire senior people with experience and I don't think they need me to manage them. Lencioni says, the lack of energy for managing people represents one of the biggest problems I see in corporate life, reserved for employees without experience rather than an essential requirement for growing even senior leaders. Managing people is never optional, and the consequences of neglecting management are always serious. None of this is to say that true micromanagement is a good thing, but I'm convinced that most companies would be far better served if their leaders walked a little closer toward micromanagement end of the spectrum than abdication management. What he's really talking about, I think, is accountability. And that's something that we do see in our contractors. Accountability is really hard to come by. Sometimes it feels bad. Sometimes it feels threatening, in fact. But it is a requirement if your construction company is going to go. I mean, after all, your jobs have to be on time, on budget. I mean, that's the very definition of accountability. And it ain't easy. If it was easy, then anybody would do it. But it's a requirement if you're going to be a senior leader in a construction company that you hold yourself, your team, your people, even your customers and your vendors, your trade partners, accountable. It has to work all across the board. So finally, with Lencioni, my challenge, and that of every other leader who occasionally participates in abdication management, that's all of us, I'm afraid, need to be more consistent in the way they manage. And that's, I think, probably true. So Chris, thank you for the article. It's a challenge to my thinking. I think it puts, maybe for me, it puts the pendulum a little bit more back in the middle. And I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. So like Chris and Chris, please send me your emails and let me know what you're thinking. This is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors.